My guests are Michael Taylor, Imam of the Kingston Islamic Center, and Dan Irwin, Executive Director of Partners in Mission Food Bank. I'm so glad you guys came in today. So we want to talk about Ramadan. So what has Ramadan got to do with a food bank?
Well, we want to say that Ramadan really is connected with fasting, right? So Muslims
okay.
fast 29 or 30 days of the year. So our calendar is a lunar calendar. So from the beginning of the 9th lunar month in the Islamic calendar, when the new moon is sighted, the fasting starts, and it is completed when the new moon, the next new moon comes. And we abstain from food and drink during the daytime hours as part of our fasting process.
And the reason you do that is?
Well, fasting is part of is one of the pillars of Islam. One of the things that we must do. Adult men and women must fast 30 days. If they have if there's a medical excuse, they do not have to fast. But the majority of people do. Even younger children fast. So it's the abstention from food is part of the religious practice. It's part of it's a month of spiritual connection. It's a month where there is additional prayers, and it's a month of charitable giving also. And I think that's where the
connection.
The connection with Give 30 campaign.
I can imagine that if you're fasting, you begin to understand what it's like to not have enough food, to be food insecure.
Correct.
Is that maybe part of the thinking too?
For sure it is, and for people who choose to fast, it's one thing. But in our community, people don't choose to be hungry.
Yeah, true. Yes, and that's where the donation, the giving part comes in, and you partnered with
Partners in Mission
for a number of years.
Yeah, since 2014.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been an awesome partnership.
Yeah.
And so how has it worked for you, Dan?
For us, it's amazing to be included in this, to be included in the community, and they're so giving, and Give 30 has been just a tremendous support. So we get financial donations as well as food. So there's donation bins at the mosque, and other people donate food. There'll be food drives at some schools in town. We'll do a food drive on behalf of Give 30. And then last year was a record year of $29,000 raised in the Give 30 campaign, which was, again, very beneficial to us.
And put to good use.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure. So in a sense, it's like the groceries you save by fasting gets donated to the food bank.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah. So and that's the genesis of the whole Give 30 campaign. Our founder Ziad Mia Lauren Toronto, he starts fasting, and one of his colleagues say, "Hey, so Ziad, you're going to save a lot of money not having coffee in the morning." And he thought, well, if I can save this money that I'm saving in coffee every morning and save that and give that to someone, it could amount to a lot. And that's where the genesis of the program happened, right? Where he's saying, well, I can save money by not having coffee, right? And it has really grown to a place where it is now across Canada. The Give 30 campaign is partnering with 17 food banks across the country.
And growing.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great idea.
Yes.
And this is outside of Ontario even.
Yes, it is. It is as far west as BC. But our local partners in Mission. That's our local people. Yeah.
Right. So tell me about Partners in Mission. What's going on there?
We're unfortunately busy.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's kind of seen some news and whatnot about food insecurity, and it's on the rise. Partners Mission Food Bank set another record last year. It was the 4th year in a row. We distributed over 20,000 food hampers to over 9,000 people in Kingston and Loyalist Township. So that's 1 in 17 people in Kingston and Loyalist received a food hamper from us last year. So partnerships like this with Give 30 are very beneficial and help us, one, increase awareness to those who may not think that there's challenges in our community, and two, gets us food and funds that we can use.
Yeah. Talk about food insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
It means that you don't have food in the fridge. You're not sure.
Food insecurity can be quite wide-reaching. So food insecurity can be anywhere from someone who's, I'm not going to buy meat this week because I'm a little short on money, and I'll wait till it comes on sale next week. Or, I'm not going to buy those items. to those who are permanently food insecure, who are trapped in that. And typically those are people who are collecting Ontario Works or Ontario Disability Support payments. And those people rely on the food bank on a monthly basis.
So you see same people coming back over and over.
About 40% of our clients come to us on a monthly basis,
Really?
and they are the ones who are trapped in the severe food insecurity. And we actually refer to it as legislated poverty because the Ontario government has set those amounts, which, again, it's not enough to live on.
It's not, especially with rents being the way they are. Even if you share premises with somebody, it's still not enough. It's like $1,000 or $1,200.
Yeah, depends on what you qualify for, but Ontario Works is under $800 a month. An Ontario Disability Support payment is, I believe, $1,533. So when you're looking at those two amounts, combined would be nice.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, even two people living together
Sharing,
you can't
yeah.
even pay the rent. Never mind.
No, the average rent
food.
in the Kingston area is around $1,750. I can't remember the exact number, but it's in the
Somewhere in there.
$1,700 range.
Yeah.
So neither of those you can't rent. So you're not going to be able to afford food or anything else in life.
And the age of the person. I heard a statistic once that the average age of a person depending on a food bank is 10 years old. Because you've got families that are landing on your doorstep every week, every month, trying to.
30% of our clients are children.
Yeah.
So our average age would skew a little higher than the 10-year age range, but not a lot. And we've done some great things in Canada with the Canadian Child Benefit, but it's just not enough as we've had so much inflation that it's just not keeping up. So there's more and more pressure on families, on individuals. We all go to the grocery store. We know what it's like. That's a new reality, and wages and other things are still catching up.
And just not quite there yet. And then the pandemic, if you were living paycheck to paycheck before the pandemic, you don't have to miss too many paychecks before you find yourself without being able to pay the rent and buy groceries and so on. And we just have not caught up from that. It's, it's a desperate problem. It really is. And then, so you partner, and so if people wanted to donate food, they can drop it off at the center.
The Islamic Center, for sure, the Kingston Islamic Center. But they're all, there are bins around the city, We like to capture the people that are donating and recognizing Give 30. But the campaign goes beyond just the Muslim community. I mean, and the support that we've really received over the last few years, and the record support of last year, was not only from Muslims, right? This is not a Muslim issue, right? This is not a Muslim issue to donate to. This is not just a Muslim issue to receive food. It's a community issue. And Dan spoke about, how insecurity works. It doesn't take a lot to find yourself really without housing or without enough money for food. So it impacts on everyone, and regardless of religion, regardless of age, gender, sexuality, whatever, the pressure of food insecurity is striking so many people, right? And religiously and philosophically, we have an idea and around how is it for someone to believe and their neighbor be hungry, right? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that you can't really believe when you're going to bed with a full stomach and your neighbor is hungry. So there is an obligation that Muslims have to their neighbors to make sure that they're not going to bed hungry. So this is one of the really big pushes that we have to encourage people to be aware of the issue of food insecurity, but also give to relieve hunger.
That is a good point. It really is. And Give 30 means is 30 days of fasting. That's where that comes from. Okay. So if people can donate right at the center, there's bins everywhere. Can they just show up at the food bank and drop stuff off?
Yes. Yeah. So we have a donation bin at our back door Monday to Friday from 8:30 until 4. We'll accept checks there if they want to drop off a check. Always go online through either
give30.org.
Give30.org.
So www.give30.org. People can donate, and You go to the website, you look for our local partners, Kingston Food Bank, and hit donate now, and you can donate money right away.
Well, which is really better because then you use the money to offset what you don't have on your shelves. You can go out and
Correct.
buy it, right? So
Right.
it's even better just to donate
is.
money.
And we buy fresh fruit every week. So we're buying fresh fruit, vegetables, eggs, milk every week. So we need that money for that. And if we have a gap in what we've got, then we can buy that too. So
Sure.
it's the financial donations are really great for us. Right now, 92 cents of every dollar goes towards our food hamper program. So we're keeping very tight with our overhead and our expenses.
That is a really good ratio. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Wow.
We in the world of food banks can squeeze.
Yeah, so it seems. So this is more than just going through your kitchen cupboards and taking out what you really don't want. This is getting solid cash is what you guys need, right?
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And I think I'll just throw it there too also for people to think of when they're looking in their cupboards, again, with food insecurity being an issue, best before does not mean bad after. So if you've got a can of soup and it was best before last month, it won't bother you. You can go at least a year without any issues.
I know, right. When they put a best before on a bottle of water,
Yes.
come on, come on. Like, water doesn't go bad, come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not referring to expiry dates for dairy and meat and whatnot, but best before is not bad after.
I get it too, I do, yes. This has been wonderful. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, and thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.